On July 13th, 2024, Donald Trump, former president and always a polarizing figure, survived an assassination attempt.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
A bullet grazed by his right ear, and many say that if he wouldn't have turned his head in the exact moment that he did, the bullet would have struck his head, leading to an imminent demise. The moment was chaotic, extreme, and absolutely terrifying. In that split second, as his life hung in the balance, Trump likely experienced what many refer to as a near-death experience. But do you know what exactly happens to the brain and body during such a harrowing event, or why people suddenly see their life flash by their eyes during a near-death experience? Let's dive into what actually goes on when you brush up against the boundary of life and death and answer those questions. The first thing that the brain realizes when death is nearby is danger. And when you find yourself in imminent danger, your brain kicks into high gear. This is the classic fight or flight response, a survival mechanism that's been with us since our caveman days. Here's a quick rundown of what happens during the fight or flight response. First, you get an adrenaline rush. Your adrenal glands pump out adrenaline, also known as epinephrine. This hormone floods your system, giving you a burst of energy. Your heart rate skyrockets, breathing becomes rapid, and your muscles tense up, ready for action. Secondly, you also go into hyperfocus. Your brain prioritizes essential functions. Your senses become sharper, and your brain zeroes in on the threat. This is why people might remember every tiny detail of a near-death experience. You also experience time dilation because during a near-death experience, your brain ends up taking in more information per second than usual. The mind is not used to this, and therefore it feels like time is stretching out. But there is a whole different side to near-death experiences that baffles scientists to this day. While the fight or flight response is all about keeping you alive, near-death experiences often come with a side of surreal, almost mystical phenomena, as reported by people who have gone through such experiences. Some people report feeling like they've left their body and are observing the scene from above. Scientists think this might be due to the brain's parietal lobe, which integrates sensory information, going haywire. Some have also reported feeling the classic life flashing before your eyes experience. Scientists feel this might be the brain's way of scanning through memories for useful information that could help you survive. Many people report seeing a tunnel with a bright light at the end. This could be the brain's visual cortex reacting to the lack of oxygen or extreme stress. The brain is such a complex organ that we might never be sure exactly why such surreal experiences occur. However, we do know certain chemicals get released in our brains during imminent danger and life-threatening situations. Our brains are incredibly unique, instinctively knowing the exact chemicals to release at just the right moment, keeping everything in balance. It tries to do this even when a person is going through the moments of extreme shock during a near-death experience. When you're in a life-threatening situation, your brain releases a flood of neurotransmitters and chemicals. It has been studied and is reported to include endorphins and DMT, known as dimethyltryptamine. Endorphins are natural painkillers that help you stay calm and reduce pain, which is why some people feel a sense of peace or euphoria during a near-death experience. While endorphins might calm the brain, it also releases DMT, a powerful psychedelic compound which could explain the vivid and often spiritual nature of such experiences. Surviving a near-death experience can be a life-altering event. Many people report profound changes in their outlook on life, relationships, and personal priorities. Here is an example of this. In 1995, Dr. Eben Alexander, a neurosurgeon, contracted a rare form of bacterial meningitis that left him in a coma for 7 days, during which he experienced vivid visions of the afterlife. After miraculously recovering, he shifted from being a staunch skeptic to a passionate advocate for the existence of consciousness beyond the brain, writing a best-selling book on the topic and reshaping his entire life's work around spirituality and near-death experiences. We think these sudden psychological changes might be due to the brain's need to make sense of the experience and integrate it into one's life narrative. Some people report that facing death can lead to a greater appreciation for the little things in life and a renewed sense of purpose. Others find that their near-death experiences strengthen or even initiate spiritual beliefs and practices. Lastly, many individuals feel less afraid of death, viewing it as a natural part of life's journey. Near-death experiences are a wild ride through the brain's emergency response system. mixed with a dash of the surreal and the mystical. Whether it's the rush of adrenaline, the life review, or the sense of peace that follows, near-death experiences offer a unique window into how our brains cope with the ultimate threat.